As opposed to Sukkot, Pesach is a holiday that's focused on the first night. On Sukkot, we sit in the sukkah every day. We take the lulav every day. But on Pesach, the chiyuvim are that first night, that first moment. The climax comes right away. And Pashup Shat, there are no chiyuvim the rest of the days of Pesach. There are isurim, but there isn't even a chiyuv to eat matzah, of course, the famous grub. On Sukkot, we paskin there's a mitzvah to eat in the sukkah the first night, but we learn that from Pesach. And of course, the explanation is simple. Sukkot commemorates something that didn't happen in a moment in time. It happened equally over 40 years. And therefore, all the days are equal. Pesach is about a celebration of that moment at Chatzot. The Seder night is the anticipation of that moment, the build-up through the Korban Pesach of Erev Pesach. And that's why the rest of Pesach is the continuation of the holiday, but really a continuation. And that's why it's surprising that Pesach ends with a Chag, the seventh day of Pesach. What new element is there here that we should have a Chag with? Why is there a new Yom Tov here? And of course, the seventh day, according to many, is parallel to the event of Kriat Yam Suf, which in and of itself is a major question. Why did Kriat Yam Suf need to happen? And why do we commemorate it? Just because it was a nes? There were many nesim. One might try to answer simply that it needed to happen because the Egyptians pursued the Jewish people and God needed to save them. But that answer is absolutely incorrect. Because if you look at the beginning of Parshat Beshalach that we read, Mir Hashem tomorrow, you see that God had the Jewish people circle around in a way that lured the Egyptians into chasing after them. Why? Why did he want to create this conflict? In fact, if you look at the beginning of Parshat Beshalach, Hashem says he's not going to take the Jews the short way, lest they see war with the Plishtim and want to return to Egypt. He's going to take them the long way. And what ended up happening when he took them the long way? They saw a war and wanted to return to Egypt. So what did God gain? And this was a scenario that he generated by luring the Egyptians in. Why? The question is all the more reinforced by the place Kriat Yam Suf has in Jewish philosophy, and particularly in defining our status as redeemed people, as Geulim. If we look carefully at the bracha of Geula in both Shacharit and Arvid, we see the focus there is on Kriat Yam Suf more than any other event. Shira chadasha shibchu geulim lishimcha al svat hayam. Yachad kulam hodu v'yimlichu v'yamru Hashem yimloch li'olam v'ed. Wasn't that in Egypt? Why is the Shira particularly here? Why do they become geulim particularly here? And of course, Kriat Yam Suf is the basis of our belief in the Geula in the future, as we say in our tefillot. Why? Why is it so? I think the explanation is that Kriat Yam Suf required something from the Jewish people that was more than what they had shown in Egypt. In Egypt, they needed to show faith that God would redeem them, that God would save them, that God would pass over their homes. But of course, at Kriat Yam Suf, as we know, the Jews needed to jump in. There's more to believing in God than just relying on Him to save you. Real belief in God means believing that God empowers you to take steps to save yourself in the direction He wants you to be saved. When the Jews got to Yam Suf, the cloud that was leading them must have set out over the sea. That's what the Jews were supposed to do. Which is why when they cried out to Hashem, Hashem said to Moshe, Ma titzakilai, why are you crying? Rashi says that God was critical of the Jewish people, Moshe davening. Lo eit tfilahi. This is not a time for tefillah. The Jewish people are in danger. Isn't that exactly when we're supposed to daven? Daber el b'nei Yisrael v'yisau. This isn't a time for davening. This is a time to move. Travel. Have faith that I'll be there to help you. Rav Taragin, in a very famous piece, says that belief in God includes not only believing in God, but believing in His empowering of man. And he says it in reference to Kriat Yam Suf. Vayaminu v'Hashem uveMoshe avdo. To believe in Hashem and in the prophet He sends and in the people that He empowers. This is a major message not only within the Geula of Mitzrayim, but regarding the Geula and the end of days. In the Medrash we're told that when the Geula comes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Bas Kol will scream out and say, the Bat Kol we heard from the mountain, and it will say, Kol mi shepa'al im el yavov yitol scharo. Whoever acted together with God should come and take the sachar for their actions. We say Tzur Yisrael, Kuma Be'ezrat Yisrael. Not Le'ezrat Yisrael, but Be'ezrat Yisrael. In the way that you help the Jewish people in the actions they take to bring the processes that Hashem wants in this world. And in our days, when we are experiencing the process of Geula, this message is central. For us to understand that the stages that are ahead of us are going to come when we believe enough to take the actions we feel God expects from us and believe that Hashem will help us through. May we have the strength to do this and really live and realize what the seventh day of Pesach, the day of the completion of the Geula, when we realize our role in it, is all about. Shabbat Shalom.